Welcome back to Maria's Tasty Treats. Today I'm excited to share with you my chocolate cupcakes with peanut butter frosting. Hope you enjoy. I'm Maria, and this is Maria's Tasty Treats. Today, before we begin, I want to introduce my sister Monica.
Hi.
We always bake together, and she is very familiar with these cupcakes because we make them a lot for birthdays.
Every birthday, our siblings' classes request us to make these cupcakes because they always want to try them.
So today we're going to teach you how to make them. So first you're going to get your sifter. Start by sifting together 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. So a good tip for doing flour is to get a spoon and get your measuring cup. You're going to spoon it in. When you scoop it up with the measuring cup, it makes the flour too dense and it ends up being too much flour. So you want to put it in a 1/2 cup and 1 cup, and then when you finish doing that, you want to take the back of a butter knife and you're going to just slide the excess off and put it right into your sifter. Monica's going to do the other 1/2 cup. And then we're going to move on to our sugar. You're going to do a 1 cup of sugar. You could do the same with the spoon as the sugar, just scoop it in. You don't have to really do the excess for this because it's not as clumpy as the flour. So you're gonna put it in and shake it. Then you're going to add that to our sifter. And Monica's gonna sift that together while I get the cocoa ready. For the cocoa, you're going to do a third, 2/3, or 1/3 cup cocoa. So you're going to do the same again. This is really helpful for doing any dry ingredient really besides salt, because you really can get that excess off and get the exact right amount. So I'm going to take the excess off of the cocoa and add that right into our sifter. Then we're going to move on to our sugar and baking soda.
It's like a mountain.
So for our sugar and for our salt and baking soda, we're going to do the salt first, and it's just 1 teaspoon salt. For the salt, if you do the right amount of salt, it makes the dish perfect, but if you do over, it really ruins it. So for the salt, I like to not only scoop off the excess, but also go a little bit in, so you really make it so that you can make it the right amount in your dish. So Monica's going to mix that up. So next we're going to mix 1 teaspoon of baking soda into our mixture. So we're going to add that in there. And then Monica's going to mix it up, and then we'll move over to our wet ingredients. Okay, so we're going to now move on to the wet ingredients. And we're going to put in our paddle attachment into our KitchenAid. If you don't have a KitchenAid, you could use a stand-up mixer. KitchenAid works a little better because you can mix it. Stop.
Keep going.
Okay, go on. So, KitchenAids are better because you can mix the dry ingredients in while it's standing up and you don't have to hold it at once. But they work as well. So, we're going to put in our water and oil. First, we're going to put in a 1/2 cup oil. Then we're going to put in 1 cup of water. And before we mix it, we're going to put in this mixture, which is just 1 tablespoon apple cider vinegar mixed with 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So we're going to add that in. Vanilla extract. And then we're going to add that in, and we're going to mix it on low. On stir, on number 1 if you have the KitchenAid. Then I'm going to crack the egg. We're going to do 2 eggs. A good way to do eggs is to crack them in a bowl so you could tell if you have any shells or not. And it prevents them from getting shells in your cupcakes. So crack those both in the bowl. No shells. We're going to add those in. It is the egg whites and the egg yolks. We're going to mix that on stir, and then we're going to add in our dry ingredients. So we're going to add it in. A fourth of a mixture at a time is what I like to keep it at because it really makes the cupcakes the best consistency. So you're gonna hold the bowl, and with your whisk, you're going to add in a fourth.
Connor, you're in it.
Then you're going to put that down, stir it for just about 5 seconds, turn it off, lift it back up, put another fourth in. Put it down, mix it on low, and then turn it off, and put the last half of the mixture in. You're gonna put that last half in, and you're going to mix that again. So these cupcakes, most cupcakes, the consistency is thicker. These cupcakes in particular, they're one of the only ones that I make that are like this, but they're just more thin. They're really like, they're more thin, and they're like, kind of like, see if I take this mixture up, it kind of like goes down and drips down. That's how you want it. You didn't do anything wrong if it turns out like that. So you're going to put that back down. You're going to get a spatula, and you're going to scrape down the sides. Then we're going to scrape down the sides, and then we're going to mix that one last time. And we're going to lift that back up, and then we're going to go put them in our cupcake sheets. Okay, so when we're filling our cupcakes, we want to do it the exact amount so they cook at the time that they're supposed to. The way to do that, I found, is to use an ice cream scoop. Since this batter is a little bit thin, you want to rub it up from the edge and put it right into your cupcake holders. And I'm just gonna do the rest of those. So you're going to put these cupcakes in the oven for about 20 minutes until a toothpick comes out clean. So we put 1 cup of butter into our KitchenAid, and we whipped it up until it was white and fluffy. As you can see here, it really it looks like vanilla frosting already, but it's only butter in here. And it really makes a really elegant feel and light and airy. So next we're gonna put in
the peanut butter. This is 1 cup peanut butter. I'm gonna pour that in right here.
Obviously you can use any peanut butter, but I found that it's best to use all natural peanut butter. It really makes gets the most flavor, and it really makes it the right consistency. So we're gonna add that in here. And then we're gonna mix it. You can't really overmix icing. So for this frosting, you can't really overmix it, so it's just really mix it on high, mix it on low, wherever you feel like is right for you. So you're gonna mix that in until the butter is fully incorporated with the butter, and the peanut butter turns lighter. It basically looks like light peanut butter, like that, exactly there. So we're going to lift our mixer up, and we're going to put in our powdered sugar next. So the powdered sugar could vary on what you like your sweetness to be, or how much peanut butter you want to taste. But for the most part, I found that 3½ cups is around where you want it to be for your powdered sugar. So we're gonna shake that off here, and then we're gonna add it in. We're gonna do a cup at a time so our powdered sugar doesn't go flying in our faces. So we're gonna put that in a little bit here. It gets crumbly at the beginning, but don't stop your mixer. Let it keep going, and it'll turn right into the right consistency. So you're gonna mix that in. Once you feel like it's mostly incorporated, like it is now, you're going to turn your mixer off. You're gonna lift it up, scrape down the edges with your spatula. It's always great to have a spatula. Spatulas are really needed in the kitchen a lot, so if you don't have a spatula, it'd be a good thing to get soon. So we're gonna mix that up. Then we're going to add in our next cup of powdered sugar. It's going to take at least 2, which will still not be very sweet. It's going to take probably 3, at least. It'd be 3.5 would be the best. So I'm going to get a spoon, and we're going to just flatten it out a little bit. It doesn't have to be super exact because it can vary from 3.5 to 4. So you're gonna just get that spoon. You don't want to push it down. You want it still to be light and airy, but you just want to get some sort of measurement there. So again, it's gonna crumble, but keep the mixer going and it'll turn right, okay? Our next cup, so this is cup number 3. After this cup, I'd recommend tasting it. Because it could be done. It depends on your peanut butter, really. So if you use my peanut butter, it might take more. But we're gonna taste it. So we're gonna put it in. We're gonna scrape down the edges before we fully incorporate it. Okay, so for when you're getting your bag ready to put the icing in, you're going to put your tip a little bit low, and you're gonna go about halfway in your tip and make a little mark with your scissors. You're gonna push the tip back up, and you're gonna cut that much off. I usually cut a little bit too much off, and it really makes the frosting slip through a little bit too much. So we're going to cut that off and slide our tip through till it's all the way down. Now you're going to fold your bag over with its edges like this, and you're going to get a cup. This size cup is perfect. You're gonna put it in and put the edges around it. So you have really a nice thing to put it into. So you're gonna get a large spoon and you're gonna scoop a bunch of your icing into your bag. And you wanna push it down so you can fit as much icing as possible. Really push it down. You don't have to put all the icing in at once. You can always refill your bag, but as much as you can. You're gonna fold the edges back up. It really makes it very clean when you do that, so that you don't have a big mess and it's flying out of the top. So you want to just push it down slowly so you don't have a big mess. Okay, so then once you push it down really as much as you could, you're going to twist the top like this, and you're going to get a napkin and you're going to just test it. Test your icing, see if there's no pop sockets or something. So that's perfect. You don't want any to blow. So after my cupcakes came out of the oven, I put them straight into the fridge or freezer, whatever one works for you. And it makes them cool right away and it keeps the moisture in. So you're going to just now begin frosting. So you want to begin frosting from the outside of your cupcake and move in, for this tip at least, and you're going to do like so, where you're going to squeeze really hard, but you're going to move at the pace of your cupcake. It looks like so. Again,